In a move that has sent shockwaves across the globe, 3,000 North Korean soldiers have arrived in Russia. These troops, transported by train under heavy security, are now stationed at a military base in eastern Russia. Their mission to undergo intensive military training by Russian forces. This deployment marks a significant escalation in the ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine. While Russia claims the training is purely for defensive purposes, the international community is watching with bated breath. The arrival of North Korean troops on European soil raises serious questions about the future of the war and its potential to spill beyond Ukraine's borders. The presence of these soldiers so far from North Korea is a stark reminder of the global reach of this conflict. It also highlights the increasing isolation of Russia on the world stage as it turns to North Korea, a nation heavily sanctioned by the United Nations, for military support. The deployment of North Korean troops has been met with swift and sharp condemnation from the international community. The United States, in a strongly worded statement, expressed deep concern over this development. This is a blatant violation of international law and a clear attempt by Russia to escalate the conflict in Ukraine, said a State Department spokesperson. We call on North Korea to immediately withdraw its troops and cease its support for Russia's illegal war. The European Union echoed these sentiments, calling the move a dangerous and irresponsible escalation. The presence of North Korean troops in Europe, they argue, undermines regional stability and poses a direct threat to international peace and security. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has expressed grave concerns over the arrival of North Korean troops in Russia. In a televised address to the nation, Zelensky warned that this development could have far-reaching consequences. "This is not just about Ukraine anymore," Zelensky said. "This is about the security of the entire world. When one country, with the support of another, sends thousands of soldiers across continents to participate in a war of aggression, it is a threat to everyone." Zelensky's words are a stark reminder that the conflict in Ukraine is not a regional issue, but a global crisis with the potential to ignite a wider war. The international community, he stressed, must act decisively to prevent further escalation. Section 4, the numbers game from 3,000 to 10,000 troops. Adding to the growing anxiety, intelligence reports suggest that North Korea could be preparing to send even more troops to Russia. Initial estimates spoke of 3,000 soldiers, but there are now concerns that this number could swell to 10,000 by December. This potential surge in troop numbers raises the stakes even higher. It suggests that North Korea is not simply offering symbolic support to Russia, but is prepared to commit a significant military force to the conflict. The international community is closely monitoring the situation, bracing for the possibility of a larger North Korean military presence in Europe. The implications of such a development are far-reaching and deeply troubling. Section 5. Germany condemns a call for international action. Germany, a leading voice in the European Union, has strongly condemned the deployment of North Korean troops to Russia. Chancellor Olaf Scholz, speaking at a press conference in Berlin, called the move a blatant violation of international law and a serious threat to peace and stability in Europe. Scholz urged the international community to take swift and decisive action to hold Russia and North Korea accountable for their actions. "We cannot stand idly by while these regimes undermine the rules-based international order," he said. Germany's condemnation reflects the growing unease in Europe over the escalating conflict in Ukraine and the potential for it to spread beyond its borders. The presence of North Korean troops on European soil is a stark reminder of the global reach of this crisis. Section 6. A world on edge. The potential for further escalation. The deployment of North Korean troops to Russia is a dangerous escalation of the conflict in Ukraine, with potentially catastrophic consequences for global security. The international community is watching with bated breath, hoping to avert a wider war. The situation remains fluid and unpredictable. The potential for miscalculation or unintended escalation is high, and the stakes could not be higher. The world is on edge, hoping that diplomacy and restraint will prevail. The deployment of North Korean troops to Russia is not just a regional issue, but a global crisis with the potential to ignite a wider war. The international community must act decisively to prevent further escalation.